What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of Flower Busters, where we do wacky experiments with different sorts of flowers. We put them in liquid, we're gonna blast them with heat. Eventually we're gonna freeze them, and it's gonna be pretty interesting. So today in this episode, we're gonna be actually blasting different flowers with a heat gun to see how they react under heat. We understand that all flowers will eventually burn, but what happens, who can survive like the most heat up to a certain point? So yeah, I think we're gonna get started on that. Let's go outside. Okay, welcome outside. So this is what we'll be running our experiments. So today we're using a ultra heat hot air tool. This thing supposedly gets real hot. So yeah, this is what we're using. So we got an extension cord over here since there's sadly no wall outlets. And yeah, let's show you what flowers we got going on today. So these are the flowers we're going to be using today. This is a lily. This is a spider mum. This is a rose. This is a, let me grab my cheat sheet. This is a carnation, another rose, there's an astro, and this one right here is an iris. Yeah, I'm more of a media person, so I don't know the flowers. So, yeah, so, a couple theories I have for this one. They're all gonna burn, but I think this one's gonna last the longest, not because it's just 3, but because it has this little bloom right here. It hasn't really, like, fully bloomed yet. So, yeah, let's get to burning. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna start with the lily. So we gotta heat up the gun, and I guess we're just gonna sit here and time it. So, it's not gonna be a timer, but like, I'm just gonna sit here and kinda guesstimate it. Right now, ooh, the air's hot. Pretty warm. It's just air though. It's on the maximum setting. We'll speed it up if it nothing happens for a while. And we'll cut to whenever something interesting happens. Well, something interesting is kind of happening. This one's kind of blooming. I know I'm focusing all the heat on it, but it's actually like starting to open up a little bit. I think it is starting to burn. Wasn't really much of a speed up, it's pretty quick. Yeah, so this one's definitely burning. This is just one of the blooms. Yeah, it's definitely burning. Smell it. Now, this isn't just a test of the way the flower burns. So, on the smaller bloom, this is definitely burning. That's definitely cooked, if you can see it on the camera. That's real hot. So, let's do the bigger bloom next. Yeah, all the flowers are real hot, and you can kind of tell, like right here. Okay, so this one right here, we're just gonna blast with more heat. Now, I wonder if this one will bloom. This one looks almost ready. See it. See, it's like loosely opening up. Wait, let's see if we can get it. Might open. Oh. No. Once again, it is starting to burn. It's starting to wrinkle a little bit, so it might not fully open. So it's actually starting to char a little bit on this side, and starting to have a little smoke. See if I can get some more for the camera. Alright, so that's just charred. Yeah, that's not really going to do much. I mean, it's black. The inside, it is not as black. I don't think any of these are going to burn because of the water content. So finally, let's do one of these blooms. I think we'll just do the one facing y'all. So this stuff has a little sticky stuff on the end. So I think we're going to get the same-ish results where, you know, we're not going to see much. I don't know, maybe because of the pollen, there's like these little things in the middle. Maybe it'll actually catch fire. Okay. So, the lily, so it started out like this, and then now it looks like that. I mean, I understand that, like, anything struck with enough heat will eventually wilt, but that was a long time under a heat gun. So, I think we can definitively say that if you are in a very hot environment where, you know, is constantly being pressured by an ultra heat, a lily might actually be a good flower for some of your needs. So, let's move on. Wow, the spider mum's already here. That's wild. So this has more petals than the other one, and I think this one either will wilt or it will. I think this one might actually burn up. So let's get her going. So immediately, what I can tell is that it starts to open up. And that the little edges are starting to get toasted like marshmallow. Now, if you ask nicely when you come to Linda's Flowers, we might burn your flowers for you if you really want us to, but you never know. Or my boss might say no. So yeah, these are... See, burning flowers actually smell really good because they're not plastics and, you know, real nice smelling. Because you're burning all that pollen and the sugar and all that. Actually, that's what it smells like. It smells like burnt sugar. Alright. So here's where we're at. It's a nice black inside with some white outside. The outsides are pretty warm. I mean, I hit it with a heat gun, and now it's, you know, black. So, yeah, let's move on to our first rose. With the power of editing, I was able to make this rose appear instantaneously. It's pretty wild, and make the other less attractive flower disappear. So, now that we have a rose, it's going to be pretty much the same thing, except I think this one might actually burn a little slower because it's more surface area. Yeah.
Wow, this one's already blackening and it's starting to burn already. I think we might actually catch this one on fire. This one's already starting to burn. See, we can't afford a flamethrower, so that's why we're using a heat gun. I really want a flamethrower, it'd be pretty cool.
Alright, so, I don't think this one's going to burn anymore, because there's so much moisture in these flowers. But, the rose is burnt. And, yeah. It's also very crispy rose. If you shake it, it might come off. A little fun thing you can do about roses. Oh, well, usually you can. Well, that's just throwing black soot everywhere. Usually the rose, so the inside of rose has really thick, like pollen stuff. All right, pink rose. Not a good transition, but you know, sometimes we gotta improvise and, you know, do some wacky stuff like this. So this one's probably gonna be the exact same. So if y'all are enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers so we can start live streaming and doing live flower arrangements for you guys. Yeah. So you get weekly uploads with me, Josh, and the rest of the flower crew. And occasionally you might see some special guests from the tuxedo side. And we also have a little hidden project that's going on behind the scenes that we're excited to announce later on this year, maybe even next year. Yeah, stay tuned for that stuff. Thank you for listening to my sales pitch. So this pink flower actually did a little different. So instead of doing right in the center, I've kind of just stuck to hitting it from one side, so you can kind of get a nice, like, ooh, the flower's beautiful. Oh, never mind. This actually gives a really pretty look onto the flower. I might give a suggestion to my boss. I don't know. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. So anyway, let's do a really smooth, wacky transition. Wow, that was wild. I'm surprised that actually worked, kinda. Maybe, I hope. So, this flower right here is a very beautiful carnation. Some of the flower people in the shop said that this is orange. I disagree, it's red. There's actually a straw right there, and it's closer to the straw than it is to that first flower. So that is definitely a red carnation, in my opinion. If I'm colorblind, like it, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. So heat gun. This one immediately, just like any heat at all, just like completely started shriveling. Wow, this one was real fast. Yeah, it is completely shriveled up. Yeah, it is like the top part's completely gone. Back, it's all black and it's all shriveled. It's an ugly flower now. This flower is what we will be doing next. This is a Alstro, and it is yellow. See, I have a little cheat sheet that shows me all the flowers, since, you know, not really good with my flowers yet. It's like learning the alphabet, you know. You gotta know your ABCs, you gotta know your rose lilies and spider mums, I guess. I don't know, dude. Oh, I think I'm just gonna hit the bottom of the stem, because we already know it's gonna wilt the flowers. Like, yeah, I already caught the flower on fire here. So let's actually like dehydrate the bottom part of the flower. Oh, immediately everything starts to go. So that will be your Alstro. It's all nice and black. And the last, but certainly not least, is one of my favorite flowers. It's an iris. Such a unique purple that you can't find in any other flowers. And it also has a yellow kind of thing in it. And if you look in the center, you can see that it's a really deep flower. It's such a pretty thing. So, yeah, so iris. Little fun fact about iris. Thing in your eye is called an iris. That's your anatomy class for this video. Let's get to burning the flowers. I am curious what happens with the leaves on this one, because we haven't really burnt any leaves that are actually thick and substantiable yet. So, a little fun fact, so there's a thing called supercritical, and all elements have it. All things actually technically have it, where it exists in a gas, a solid, and a liquid all in one state. And it involves super high pressures. You can do it with dry ice, actually. If you take dry ice, put it in a pressure chamber, and just let it evaporate. And the pressure chamber has to be real small. You essentially make a bomb. But what happens is that the carbon evaporates and it can't go anywhere. And it wants to be a gas, but there's not enough pressure to be a gas. And there's too much pressure to be a gas, so it kind of stays a liquid. And then it can't be a liquid because it wants to evaporate into a gas, so it kind of turns into a gas-liquid hybrid. Alright, so I think this one's done. It kind of just turned black. The flower itself is all wilted and actually changed kind of it has a yellow color actually underneath this. Actually really hot. So yeah. So these are your flower arrangements after they've all been kind of burnt. They're all pretty ugly. Keep flowers away from fire, anything really hot. And yeah, let's actually go show these results to Josh and see how he reacts to them. All right, Josh, I did what you asked, and I bring you a bunch of cooked flowers.
Okay. I don't think that's exactly what I was going for. I was kind of going for maybe like what the outside temperature could be, maybe in the hot summer, 100-some degrees, not fire.
Okay, so I got some bad news. So, like, our budget is like a heat gun. We ain't got no oven.
Okay, well, I don't think the flowers are gonna ever look like this from being outside, but
okay,
hope
but
you got some good science.
But okay, let's say hypothetically, like there's a fire and the outside becomes like the inside becomes the outside because the fire opened up a hole. Like that's what your flowers would look like, right?
Yeah, if there's a fire in this place, you're gonna see a lot of that.
That is good to know. And hey, we don't have to burn down our house just to see what our flowers would
There you
look
go.
like.
Now everybody knows. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, loyal viewer. This officially concludes my project on what heat does to flowers. Thank you for watching this episode of Flower Busters, where in the next episode, we're gonna see what happens to flowers when you put them in a freezer. Thank you for watching.